Hi everyone, and welcome to the Special Science Week video of STEAM Club Online. As always, I'm Matthew, and with me today is Jasmine.
Hi! So this year's theme for Science Week is Into the Deep for the future of our oceans. So today we're going to show you one of the ways our actions are really having a bad effect on our oceans and their wildlife.
So one of the most terrible things we do is we put plastic in our oceans. The plastics can be takeaway packets, or chocolate wrappers, drink bottles, plastic bags, food utensils. Now, when we drop them on the street, in the schoolyard, or out of your car, they end up getting flushed down the drains and entering our waterways. Sometimes this means they even end up in the ocean. Most of the time they do. Sea turtles are affected more than most, as they get confused with the floating plastic to jellyfish and other marine wildlife that they eat. The leatherback turtles, who mainly eat jellyfish, are the ones who get affected the most because they always confuse plastic bags with jellyfish.
In this video, we're going to show you how to make a jellyfish in a bottle. This is a great sensory craft activity, but it also shows you how turtles get confused between a plastic bag and a jellyfish in the ocean.
So what you will need to use for this activity is a clear plastic bottle, and 125 litre plastic bottles are great for this. A plastic bag, either clear or white is preferably better to get the desired effect. Food dye, blue, preferable because ocean. String, scissors, or a cutting implement, and when you use these, you need to make sure you get adult supervision or help with them doing it themselves. And a gloves. Now, before you begin, remember you will need some protective equipment. We're going to be using gloves when we use the food dye because, as I've said in previous videos, it gets everywhere and stains everything. And something to put over your clothes just to make sure, again, you don't get the food dye or anything on you is preferable. So now we're ready to do the process. Jasmine is going to run you through step by step on what you need to do.
Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is put some gloves on because we're going to use the food dye that Matthew was talking about before. So I'll give you these, Matthew. Okay, so we need to start off with the water bottle and obviously making sure that it is nice and clean. We are going to fill it up with water, but not all of the way because we are going to put some things in here if we finally close it. Okay. And next, which is why we've got the gloves on, we've got the blue food dye that we're going to put in there. Just a few drops. Nice blue colour. So to make sure that the colour goes through the whole bottle, we're going to close it up again. And then give it a gentle shake. There we go, so that's a nice blue colour. And so next, I might put this to one side, and we're going to cut up the plastic bag that we have here into roughly a square shape.
And remember, you might need help from your parents to do this one.
Especially if you're not comfortable with scissors. Okay. So from here, we're going to put the plastic bag square on top of the glass, if it will stay. I'm just going to add a few.
Be careful when you do this. You might be able to pour it, otherwise you might just put your hand in the water a little bit and let a few drops get onto it.
We'll see how we go. Oops, I have to dot that here.
Yeah. You might have to depress it into the cup a little bit to make sure that you can get the...
So this is how we're making the jellyfish. So this water is the jellyfish's head. Okay.
Now, you'll need a second person to help you with this. The string. and you want to make sure you tie it tightly around above where the water has sit. Now, you don't need a super long amount of string.
It's quite a small little jellyfish. Okay, so from here we're going to use the scissors again to cut some strips up into the plastic bag. So this is really going to make the plastic bag look like a jellyfish with all of their different legs. This actually happens to plastic bags when they go into the waterways and the oceans, because the plastic bags get caught up on things like rocks and other bits and pieces as they float on, which is why the turtles get so confused. How do you think that looks, Matthew, or do you want me to do a bit more?
No, that looks fine.
Lots of legs. Okay. Woo. I'll turn it upside down this way so you can see that it looks sort of like a jellyfish. A bit of water's coming out, but that's okay. So we're going to gently put it into the bottle. Be patient here. Gently put it in there. And then we're going to fill the bottle up the rest of the way with the water. Once again, being gentle, because we don't want to disturb the plastic jellyfish. Okay. Close the lid quite tightly. Okay, and then give the bottle. It looks sort of like a jellyfish floating in the ocean. So you can see, once again, how the turtles get really confused.
Please try this craft at home, and you can use your bottles and show us your jellyfish crafts in the comments. Now, here are some details about plastic pollution in our oceans. 8 million metric tons of pollution gets into our water every year. That's the same rate as around 53,000 blue whales, the largest animals in the world. There are multiple garbage patches that exist floating in our oceans where the ocean currents push them all together, and the largest one is larger than New South Wales. Now, this is only the tip of the iceberg, and it is sad and it is serious. But there are things that we can do to help.
What we can do at home is make sure that we recycle correctly. This means putting the right things in the right bins and making sure that they are clean. We also need to make sure that we don't litter and take all rubbish home and put them in the right bins again. We can help by not using single-use plastic like the spoon that Matthew's holding, the bottles, rubbish like this chocolate wrapper, and doing things like using reusable plastic bags, reusable cups and containers.
You can also use fabric bags when you go shopping instead of the plastic ones that come there. That, in their defense though, you can actually recycle those plastic ones now because they are designed, but you do need to take them to your local supermarket and shopping centre to recycle them at specifically marked locations. Now, this is just not a local issue, it's a global one. We're all in this together. By doing our parts individually, we can show other people what they should do. We can help make the world cleaner and nicer for the turtles, and not just the turtles, for everybody. However, one thing to remember is that the biggest polluters are actually companies who make what we buy. Now, this is not something that can be fixed by us doing our part individually. As much as it is important that we do our parts individually, we also have to be more conscious about what we buy. We need to look at companies that understand their responsibility to the environment. So we can do this by being smarter with not only what we buy, with the companies we support, with when we buy things, have a look to see if they're made from reusable or recyclable parts, and just be more conscious about what we do to reduce, reuse, and recycle. We can also sponsor local initiatives that help clean our oceans and rivers, like boats that sit and trawl the rubbish out of the rivers. There's many famous examples of this, one with giant googly eyes so that people would like them, and it was a huge success. We can also have a look at things like sea bins, which sit floating and capture the plastic in the ocean. Now, this is a personal choice. It's up to you to decide what you want to do and what matters to you. Now, to quote one of the best things in existence, Captain Planet, the power is yours.
Yeah!
And remember, flush that in, and have a good day.